One of the toughest parts with making a documentary is that sometimes some of the interviewers or interviewees, I guess, they give stories that are so amazing and really just enjoyable, but you can't use the entire thing because of time constraints and narrative constraints. And you also have to chop it up, which kills the natural rhythm and flow of the story. But thankfully, with the advent of laserdiscs, we can now present these stories to you in their full intended format. And here's some that I think you'll enjoy listening in all their glory.
Why, hello there. I'm Wilford McGhee, and welcome to the McGhee residence. It's early morning here, and I like to sit here and bring my cup of coffee and eat a bowl of Quaker oats. And that tastes like crap. And after that, I like to go through my mail. What do we have? The collection agency, they're not going to get a cent from me. What the hell is this? The IRS, I ain't paying them anything there. Voter registration, they're both a couple of crooks. I'm not voting for either of these idiots. What else we have here? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to have your priorities straight, and I don't care about any of this, but I did get something interesting in the mail. Maybe you got this in the mail too. It's a survey. They're making a new movie. It's a documentary about someone named Velvet L. And I think you should fill out this survey. It's very important. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Here are some of the questions that I'm going to answer. And you answer them in your way, and I'll show you how simple the process can be. In your own words, what are your thoughts on Velvet L? Well, I think Velvet L is a national treasure. He's a folk hero of my generation, and I think he's the greatest folk hero in America, or maybe even the world. Okay, and I think Velvet L has a way with words. I remember him like it was yesterday. It was the '90s. He was it's exploding on the rock scene. I'm writing that in there. As the postmodern Jesus, that was his first thing, and he recited the vagina monologue. It was beautiful. It was sublime. I cried. I'm not ashamed to say I still cry when I think of it. But the backlash, there was a backlash. You know, when you do something so wonderful as reciting the vagina monologues, people are going to be affected. But some people were badly affected. They said it was feminazism. He really came under fire, and it would be a backlash. The backlash would actually cause Hillary Clinton to lose the 2016 election. I mean, it's sad when things happen like that, but he was doing something important, and people just took it the wrong way. And also, my notes on the subject is, what I think of Al in my own words is that Velvet Al would go on to even bigger and better project like Carrie Joe's Nightmare, the next Syphilis, and he would let her take a sick message to Facebook, where he became the king of the local media, and then he became the king of social media. He displaced Howard Stern, the pretender to the throne, to become the new king of all media. That's what I think Velvet Al is, in my own words. National folk hero, Buffalo hero, king of all media. That's what Velvet Al is too. That's what I put for that question. Here's the second question on the survey is multiple choice. Do you think that Velvet Al is a genius, or do you think he's a pervert? I think Velvet Al is a genius that must be celebrated. But also, I think he is a pervert and a threat to our community and our American way of life. I propose that we celebrate him, we put him on a pedestal, and then we take him on this pedestal and nail it to a cross. We can build statues of him and effigies of him, and then we burn them. So yes, genius, pervert, and a threat to all we hold dear. And that is how I completed the survey, and why you should complete yours. And if you send it back to him, and he might use it in the new Belvedere L documentary. So I thank you, and I hope you will complete your survey as I did.
Velvet Al, yeah. He's the Show Me Your Boobs guy on Facebook, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, the one of the folks that the linchpin members of the Next Syphilis is. Originally, Next Syphilis was a ska band. It had 186, 187. Forgot about the flugel player. Members that were very quickly reduced down to two when Al discovered that you could keep a lot more of the bar's earnings if you had less members. So he got rid of all the people, and it was just him and Jack Toft doing the Next Syphilis, and they were a staple of the Buffalo, indie bar music scene for quite a long time. I had the pleasure of working with them when I was doing things with anal pudding and things of that nature. And, in fact, I think Velvet Al's featured in one of my animations. Him and Jack Toffer in the background of one of my animations that I did for an anal pudding video. So, and of course, they did a lot of very just crazy, eclectic material. Many people will ask, "Oh, what are your thoughts on that?" It was definitely a part of the era, and a lot of the things that Next Syphilis was doing, if they didn't directly inspire what was going on, then they certainly fit in very well to that sort of Buffalo perv rock music scene, making them very important parts of it. I don't think it would at all be an overstatement to say that Velvet Al influenced that, in a certain way. Him and Jack Toft and their work with Next Syphilis had a very strong influence on what people were doing in that circle of people. So, genius or pervert? It's a hard question to answer with him. I remember one time, we touched dicks in the back of the Continental, and the thing that I thought was really weird about the experience was I had no idea where Al got the dicks. I to this day it haunts me. It feels like the sort of way they were removed implies there was no consent in the process, but I wasn't there. For all I know, tearing my dick off with a bear trap is something that maybe two people would have asked for. But anyway, that part's not the point. The point is, does that make him a pervert or a genius? And I said, well, why can't it be both? I mean, any old pervert can touch dicks with you in the back of a Continental, but only Velvet Al would provide the dicks. Both of them.
Oh shit, I forgot to push record. Okay, here's my boobs. Here's my boobs. See, they're boobs. And I'm Greg. And Velvet Al is a creative genius because he likes magic wands. And I'm not a pervert, and neither is Velvet Al. And he jerked off on a stage when we were doing Exploding Chaos, and we were exploding. Very good. It was a very good show. And I'm Greg. And Velvet Al is a creative genius. He's not a pervert. And he doesn't like that when I do this. But I think he does like it. But it doesn't mean he's a pervert. And I'm not a pervert either. We just like magic wands. But I can't speak for him. All I can say is he's not a pervert. He's a creative genius. But maybe you should ask him. Anything more? There's my boob. See, boob. That's a boob. See, it's a boob. And Velvet might want to lick my boobs. But he's never asked me, so he's not a pervert. Okay, all you assholes. You're a bunch of fucking assholes. Talk to you later, bye.
Start at the back, begin in the front. Can you not see my boobs, bro? There, those are for you. It's hot here, man. A lot of people see my boobs. Not that many, but you know, whatever. It's the internet. Who's looking at that thing? Who watches the internet? Am I right? Okay, that's question number 3. Question number 2: pervert or genius? I'm gonna go with like 4 answers here. No, maybe 3. Both. Yeah, that's the obvious one, I guess. Perverted genius and genius at being a pervert. So I think you got 3 answers there. Take your pick. I'd take them all if I were you, because yeah. My thoughts on Al. A lot of thoughts on Al. Al loved Generation Magazine in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was one of the few that I would dare say loved it as much as I did. And it was a place that, it was a magazine and an office and a bunch of people that changed my life for the better and the worse. You know who you people are. You do. And you really should contact me and say sorry. But Al's not one of those people. Al, my first memory of Al was him coming in, giving me a compliment. Maybe I'm blowing myself up here. Maybe I'm lying to myself, but that's the conversation, or at least the remark that you made to me, Al, and it meant a lot to me then, and it does now. So I really appreciate that. People aren't for complimenting others in general, are they? So, I mean, he loved it to the point that he would go into the archives naked and, you know, come out with a lot of paper cuts. Let's put it that way. Perverted genius. I would go in there too. I mean, I arrange those things, and I would, but I would tell them my hopes and dreams, but not Al. Sticky pages. I'm gonna stop there. Perverted genius. Genius at being a pervert. And what else? Oh, Al wrote a very interesting, sexual, and great porno. Was that a porno? What time is it? Must be 2:00. No, it was an erotic serial. Let's put it that way. It was an erotic collection of the people he worked with at the magazine. Yeah, that's when you want to be the most liked person in the office, and when you put it to everybody's mailbox, letterbox, that's when you make friends. That's when you find out who your friends are, Al. That's when you find out who your friends are, when you put them in an erotic serial, bro. So anyways, that was great. Perverted genius. Yes. And I wasn't in it, thankfully. I guess, I don't know. Maybe there's some big conclusion I missed. But that's okay. I did get to read it, and I thought, had we printed that in the Generation, maybe, because there was a big kerfuffle, and but with the people who were in it, and they didn't like their pairings or their positions that Al put them in. But had we put that in the magazine, that would have been the best serial in the magazine by far, in my opinion, honestly, and I'm being honest there. So there was that, and when I ran for editor-in-chief of Generation Magazine, Al was the only person who voted for me. I think it was like 15-1 out of 3 people. So thank you, Al. I appreciate that. it was humiliating, but the one definitely made it less humiliating, and also because I knew who you were, and I knew who you were to that magazine. It meant a lot, so I appreciate that. I really do. And last one, thank you again for the fact that maybe it got you into that office. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I feel very proud of the fact that anything I had done had got you into that office, because that's where you belonged, and that's that is dead now, unfortunately. That's a dead thing. That era, that sort of environment, just that will not happen anymore. Not with this. Not with the people that we have coming out of our wombs and from our testicles. That generation. More, I'm going to blame your generation now. I know you hate being a millennial, but I don't see you as a millennial, Al. I see you as a really, really late to the party Generation Xer, or Generation Y if you're fine with that. But you're down a millennial, bro, and thank God, because I'm sorry, but you're all assholes. 80% of you, and you know it. You know it. You're dicks. You're dicks, and you're worse than that, and you're destroying the world, and I feel bad for you. So here's to Al, and Al, fuck that generation. And watch out for the paper cut.